Alright, it's finally time for this one. Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play Resident Evil 0. I'm playing the GameCube version over the HD remaster because frankly I didn't want to bother picking the game up again. Let's not waste any time. I'm going to be playing the game on normal mode because it is the balanced experience overall, and we get to hear the Resident Evil name called up by the same guy who would do the 1 and 5. I think 4 as well.
Resident Evil 0.
A Midwestern town in America, Raccoon City. A solitary island far off in the sea, Rockfort Island. An island that would become the second Raccoon City, Sheena Island. There are still many unanswered questions about these seemingly unrelated yet intensely traumatic events. Though it is believed that the international enterprise umbrella was somehow involved, little is known as to the origin of this faceless corporation. When was it established? By whom? And how was the T-virus created? To uncover the truth, we must delve deeper into the events which transpired in the beginning, before the mansion incident.
Leave it up to me.
Really?
Do you think so too?
Yeah.
Do about it.
Should hold off for a while.
But I wonder how those R&D people would react to this.
Began as a simple investigation of some bizarre murders in the suburbs of Raccoon City. Nothing in our training could ever have prepared us for the nightmare that ensued. We never stood a chance.
What's going on? Engine failure. Emergency landing.
I'm not getting another camera shot in the game.
Check the current position and investigate the surrounding area.
Captain, look! Captain!
What happened?
Court order for transportation. Prisoner Billy Cohen, ex-lieutenant, 26 years old. Court-martialed and sentenced to death July 22nd. Prisoner is to be transferred to the Regathon base for execution.
Those poor soldiers. They were good men just doing their jobs, and that scum murdered them and escaped.
All right, everyone, let's separate and survey the area. Our friend is brutal and ruthless. Keep your guard up.
A train.
The door to safety is shut. There is no turning back. Why, thank you. Not your best intro text, but sure. And thus we start. And not for nothing, I'll bring this up again when I eventually get to Remake on the GameCube, but for all my problems with this game, it's a great looking game for GameCube. The pre-rendered backgrounds look great, they're animated well, and especially on older TVs, the models blend pretty well with the backgrounds.
This is Officer Chambers from S.T.A.R.S Bravo team. Please identify yourself. Is someone there?
The government has announced that it has set out to clean up our department. But as of 2 years ago, when several funds were set up, the local government stepped in and took over.
Our first zombie encounter for the game. This is actually one of the few times in the series you really want to take care of the first few zombies you run into, because we're going to be running through this room a lot through the first part of the game, and you might as well get them out of the way while they're here, honestly. Plus, you got plenty of ammo for it.
What just happened? I thought they were dead.
Thought was a keyword there, Rebecca. So control-wise, they pretty much translated the original PS1 game's controls onto the GameCube controller. R ready is your weapon, L will switch which target you're auto-aiming at, A is your firing button, B is run. Y is your menu screen, though, in this one. And you can access all the main menus from there, including the options in case you need to change things up at any point in time. Start does something a little different in this one, though, because that was how you access some of the options menus in some of the prior games. Otherwise, usual classic Resident Evil setup staples apply. Check rooms, find ammo, find herbs for healing and all that. Though this game certainly has its own unique quirks that I like some of, but not all. For now, though, we obviously have a note on screen, so let's read that. Passenger's Diary, July 14th. Orders came from the boss today. Looks like we're in charge of investigating the remains of the Arklay Mountains laboratory. We're moving in 2 groups, with us in the initial group assigned to start checking what's left of the abandoned experiment. July 16th. Unfortunately, the test production of BOW Type Y139 had to be suspended because of this investigation. It's the same with Type Y139. There's still so much we don't know about responses to the crustacean T-virus. There's a lot of interesting research left. Depending on the species and nurturing conditions, only minute doses of T bring about remarkable changes in solidity, size, multiplication of internal toxins, and brain development. If these effects can be controlled, a powerful weapon could be produced. But the sudden development of the shell results in a corresponding fragility. Certain areas become exceedingly weak. Problematically, one of these areas is the head carapace. This lab we're going to, were they pursuing the same research? It would certainly help to find data and samples that would help us in our research. June 19th. The day is finally approaching. I'm growing more anxious. The Raccoon City newspapers and TV stations are full of reports about the bizarre murders in the suburbs. It can't be the virus. Can it? If it is. No, I can't think of that now. I have to concentrate on this investigation and make sure it goes smoothly. I don't think it went that smoothly. So, before we get into the plot full scale, my history with this game isn't as deep as it is with a lot of the other games. I often saw this on GameStop shelves growing up, and I ultimately decided to play it sometime after I played Resident Evil 4 or 5. I forget the exact history with that. And that first playthrough was rough. I'd say this is easily the hardest Resident Evil on a first playthrough, barring maybe 3. But it's for radically dumb reasons in my tastes. Here we got our green herb, as usual. This is a percentage-based healing. You're going to want a lot of these alongside red herbs to have some good healing items on standby. Investigation orders. Stained with blood, some sections are illegible. 8 miles north of Raccoon City in the Arklay Mountains lies our company's management training facility. It was shut down years ago. Now we are conducting a preliminary study into the reopening of the facilities. First investigation unit is already on site and opening the investigation. I want your team to provide support. The following orders will bark and first get the rest is torn and unreadable. It was already unreadable at the end there, I won't lie. After that first playthrough, though, I have not come back to this game often. This is easily the classic styled Resi I've played the least. I think this is maybe my 5th or 6th time playing it, and the latter 2 times of that are this time and the practice run I did for it. What this game has unique to itself is really interesting, but it's also a complete pain in my ass to play. For now, at the end of this hallway, we got this guy. This train employee's corpse has been brutally torn apart. He's holding something. We're gonna need this train key, so make sure you grab it now. Not that you really can't avoid it at this point.
Billy. Lieutenant Cohen.
So, you seem to know me. Been fantasizing about me, have you?
You're the prisoner that was being transferred for execution. You were with those soldiers outside.
Oh, I see. You're with S.T.A.R.S. Well, no offense, honey, but your kind doesn't seem to want me around, so I'm afraid our little chat time is over.
Wait! You're under arrest.
No thanks, Dollface. I've already worn handcuffs.
I could shoot, you know.
God, it's one thing after another in this hallway.
Edward! Are you alright? What happened?
It's worse than... We can't. You must be careful, Rebecca. The forest is full of zombies and monsters.
Zombies and monsters.
Time for the good old Cerberus. Usual thing applies. Lower HP on average than a given zombie, but they're faster and might be able to pile on the damage more often if there's more of them. Edward, you were so happy just a few hours ago. He's holding something. As usual, check your friend's corpses for free handgun ammo. There are 2 Cerberus in here, though the second one takes another moment to spawn, and take care of them while you're here because you're going to be coming back through this room a couple times. Mind you, the spaces here on the train are so narrow anyway, you might as well take care of a lot of the enemies. Not all, but a lot. Check this tag on the train key to figure out it's for the dining car, which means we're now backtracking towards where we started in the train itself. You don't need to examine the keys, though I do it in some cases in this LP just to get a good example of where we might be going next. Remake and Zero probably require examining items the most out of all the classic-styled Resident Evil games, though, as there's only a couple cases in Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, and Code Veronica where you need to, whereas there's several times here. On the way back through this room, more zombies have spawned in, but in my experience, they usually won't catch up with you in time unless you hang about too long in the room checking something else like your phone. Just blitz on through and you'll get past them no problem.
This is Rebecca. Over. Enrico! Hello! Can you read me? Please respond.
Rebecca, I can hear you. Now listen up. We've obtained detailed information on the fugitive from a document found in the wrecked wagon. Billy Cohen killed as many as 23 people. Over.
23 people.
We have also confirmed that he was institutionalized, so keep your guard up. Can you hear me, Rebecca? Over. Stay alert, Rebecca. He wouldn't think twice before killing you.
Enrico! Captain! Hello? Hello!
And thus, we're effectively on our own. Nothing too unusual for this series at this point, honestly. This here is the door to the dining car, so we can use the key we got on it, and as with all prior classic games in the series, when you use a key on every door it can be used on, they just tell you that outright, go, hey, this key's useless now, you want to get rid of it? You should always say yes to that. There's never been a case where they like to pull a joke on you needing an earlier key later on for a secret or anything so far.
It's gonna be dangerous from here on in. Why don't we cooperate?
Cooperate with you?
Listen, little girl, if you haven't noticed, there's some pretty freaked out things on this train. And I, for one, want to get out of here. I don't think we stand a chance doing it alone.
You expect me to trust you, a wanted felon? I don't need your help. I can handle this on my own. And don't call me little girl.
All right, Miss Do-It-Yourself. What should I call you?
The name is Rebecca Chambers, but that's Officer Chambers to you.
Well then, Rebecca, why don't you go and try while I wait here?
Hey, watch the attitude there, mister. I got a gun and I know so do you, but I'm the one who's a player character, so I could fire it faster, probably.
Well then, Rebecca, why don't you go and try while I wait here?
Always find it funny they just replay that part of that cutscene whenever you just talk to him there. So, the door behind us is actively locked, so the only thing we can do is go upstairs or grab this file. Notice to supervisors. When closing the dining car, supervisors are asked to switch off the automatic doors after ensuring all staff have vacated the car. The main automatic door power switch is located on the roof of the 5th car. Inspections will take place when the train is garaged. After inspections are complete, use the ladder at the rear of the 2nd floor of the dining car. Umbrella Corporation Maintenance Department. Well, we're gonna need those directions eventually, probably. Call it a hunch. Let's see what's waiting up here at the actual dining part of the dining car. Also, one of my favorite screens in the game coming up right here. Genuinely, Remake and Zero, even on their original release, still look good to this day whenever they handle atmosphere effects like this. It just looks nice.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
This is what's known as a leech zombie. There's another name for them as well. They have their own musical cue. You can fight this one, but the same cutscene happens if you just go downstairs.
Are you okay?
Who is that guy?
What's going on? Who's controlling the train?
Go and check out the first engine car. Listen, we gotta cooperate with each other from now on. You got that?
Well, I don't...
Clue in, girl. Or maybe you like being worm bait.
All right. But you just remember, I will shoot you if you try anything funny.
Fine. Now take these with you. If you find anything, give me a call, all right?
And thus starts this game's very unique mechanic. Player's Manual to Character Switching. Note that button names may differ depending on the controller type selected. Character Switching, a system that enables you to control the two lead characters, Rebecca and Billy, and use their different abilities to progress through the game. The character you currently control is called the main character. The character you do not control is called the partner character. The partner character generally moves independently. You can use the C stick to control the partner character. Selecting partner on the status screen allows you to assign instructions to the character. Solo, both characters move independently. Team, partner moves with the main character. Attack, partner attacks automatically. Idle, partner will not attack. You can also press the start/pause button to switch between the independent and cooperative action. Press the X button at the status screen to switch between the characters. To overcome obstacles, you will need to evaluate the circumstances and switch characters as needed. When your partner character is nearby, you can exchange items on the status screen. Choose that item from the main character's item box and select the exchange command. Character attributes Rebecca. Rebecca, member of S.T.A.R.S, has the following attributes. Can combine herb-related items, is weak defensively, can use a mixing set to combine chemicals. Playing the part of Bravo Medic pretty well. Character attributes Billy. Billy, a former Marine, has the following attributes. Cannot combine herb-related items, is strong in combat, and can push large objects. If the partner character is attacked, both the main character and partner character will die if they take too much damage. You should always keep an eye on their condition. A partner being attacked in a different room will call for help over the radio. If your partner does call, go to help as quickly as possible. Cooperating with your partner. Some puzzles cannot be solved by only one character. When you are stuck, try to see if using your partner will help. This game is effectively a single-player co-op adventure. We're going to be swapping between the characters pretty regularly, and you can effectively use them to do separate things across the level design at once. But for my tastes, I tend to keep the two characters together for the max amount of inventory possible. This is an interesting system, but it leads to some problems, I find. There are times you do need to separate no matter what, though, so we'll cover those as we go. In fact, you even have choices of who to send where. For instance, there's a ladder here. It seems to lead up to the roof. Climb up the ladder? We're gonna do that in a moment, but I recommend sending Rebecca up there. You can also send Billy, but I prefer Billy to stay around here to do other things. There's also some other problems that lead into the party system of sorts, but that's largely due to another very unique mechanic to Resident Evil 0 we'll start talking about next time that involves inventory management. But with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 2, now that we've gotten through the main part of the tutorial, it's time for us to fully start exploring the Ecliptic Express. See you guys then.